The past 24 hours have been absolutely insane for music. Drake has dropped a second diss track on Kendrick Lamar. My voice just cracked and I'm not even gonna delete that from the video. I am in absolute and utter shock. Kanye West also butted himself into the entire argument once again. And this time he actually threw tons of shots at Drake as well as J. Cole. With that being said, let's get right into this video. First, we're going to talk about this Drake diss. This is the first time that I've seen Kendrick Lamar actually losing a battle. And I'm not going to lie to you, it's a little bit of mixed signals because Drake hasn't said anything incredibly insane, but he already dropped a semi-attack video and a semi-counter video. So it's going to be hard for Kendrick Lamar to actually navigate on what he's going to say next to Drake. In case you did not know, the first diss, Drake dissed essentially everybody who dissed him on the Metro Boomin album, including The Weeknd, including Future, including Kendrick Lamar, including Ja Morant, who's not even on any... I don't know why he dissed Ja Morant, I'm not gonna lie to you, but he dissed Ja Morant. And in this second diss track, he uses AI Tupac, which if you don't know, Tupac is like one of Kendrick Lamar's biggest inspirations. He talks about Tupac a lot in his music. T-Pab, the pretty much Kendrick Lamar's biggest album, To Pimp a Butterfly, was originally going to be named To Pimp a Caterpillar, which spelled out Tupac, but he ended up switching it because To Pimp a Butterfly sounded better or something. I don't know exactly why he changed it. He also talked about on the Heart Part 3 being seen as Pac reincarnated, and he's a big fan of Tupac. So in this diss that Drake just released, he uses Tupac's voice and is like, he pretty much 8 Mile Eminem's him. Which, if you don't know what I'm talking about, there's a movie clip of apparently what actually happened to Eminem pretty much saying everything that he already knew that his opponent was going to say about him in a diss. And this is Tupac saying that he's going to bring up the fact that Drake likes children. And I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of a bold move. He tried to like downplay it a little bit, but he's like, bring up the fact that he does bring all these obvious things up. Drake's pretty much essentially saying what he's going to target. So it is going to be incredibly difficult for Kendrick Lamar to navigate what he's going to be able to say to Drake, because if he was already in the middle of the writing process right now and then he just heard everything that he was planning on saying about Drake, then he might be cooked. But if he can think of some way to be maybe more conscious than this, being like, oh man, I knew you would expect me to do that, so I expected you to expect me to do that in this diss track or something like that, then it'd be okay maybe. I don't know what Kendrick Lamar can say here though in this case, because he brought up a lot of the biggest points that Kendrick could have made about him. Which, by the way, that does not excuse the fact that Drake was doing some strange things, speaking about Millie Bobby Brown in her Stranger Things days, which is absolutely wild because she was like a ultimate mega minor. Like, she was the lowest age you could be. I don't think she was the age of consent yet, and Drake was trying to mess with her. He also brings up the fact that Kendrick Lamar is taking forever to respond, which again is crazy because Drake was gone for like quite some time. He was like not responding for a couple of weeks, like over almost a month nearly, and he's rushing Kendrick Lamar to put out this new diss. But the way that he's going about this is incredible because he dissed everybody who dissed him essentially, as well as threw a couple shots at Kendrick Lamar and already started to target some of the things that Kendrick was going to be able to say. So, bro, it's not looking good for Kendrick. He's dropped 2 disses on Kendrick now, and it's scary. But luckily, we have reinforcements. Kanye West, also known as Ye, just recently went on this podcast and previewed a Like That remix. So now, as Drake would say, it is a 21v1 because J. Cole kind of opted out. But Kanye has no prisoners. He dissed J. Cole immediately off rip, talking about the fact that if anybody turns on J. Cole during intimate moments, it will make the moment unintimate. Essentially saying that nobody listens to J. Cole, especially during intimate moments. But also, I just want to say the people at the Download podcast were incredibly and unbelievably loud. When I'm trying to listen to this Kanye West diss and you keep telling me, I can't believe Kanye West is dissing them. I can't believe Kanye West is dissing them. I can't believe... Bro, we understood that Kanye West is dissing them. That is the entire thing that he is playing right now. You don't have... On this Like That remix though, Kanye flips the Like That beat and he does an incredible job on it. He also shouts out Metro Boomin and Future. He also has Ty Dolla $ign on here, and he disses Drake talking about his label. Drake is in fact signed to YME, which is under UMG, so he's just as controlled as anybody else would be who is signed to a major record label. However, in Drake's case, I feel like it's different because he's like the biggest artist, and you're really not holding Drake back from releasing anything, as we've seen, because he just released 2 brand new songs. But with that being said, I honestly think that as we speak right now, Drake has the edge on a lot of these artists, and Kendrick Lamar is going to need to respond with something incredibly big to be able to compete with Drake. Kanye West, he had a little bit of fun there, but I genuinely don't think he said anything that was that crazy. He mostly talked about himself in that entire verse as he tried to make it all about himself. And I love Kanye, man. It's truly was interesting to see him on this diss track. But with that being said, I'm about to rank every single one of the diss tracks in the big 3 beef that have been included so far. I'm talking about Rick Ross. I'm talking about that little ASAP Rocky verse that happened, the Like That verse, everything that's happened so far, and I'm gonna rank it worst to best. With that being said, I love you all very much. I am in fact conflicted, and I am in fact out. Also subscribe if you haven't already.